Hello, magical people. How's it going out there? My name is Meg Moonbeam, and welcome back to my YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. And just realized I didn't put my Rumble stream on, so whoopsies. Just bear with me one second, you guys. Okay, perfect. That's on. So we're on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Hello, hello, everybody. And welcome to this special full moon in Aries astrology forecast for the whole collective and all 12 signs. So we're going to do a deep dive into what this full moon in Aries is all about for all of us. And then we'll go into each of the 12 signs. I'm going to make some predictions. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the live chat or the comments below. I'll also put timestamps in the comments below if you're watching the replay and you want to go directly to your sun, moon, rising sign prediction. But I invite you to stick around and listen to the collective predictions because some pretty intense stuff that we've got coming up for this full moon. So before we get into the astrology, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my Meg Moonbeam YouTube, Rumble, and X channel. I appreciate all of your support so much. All my links, my website, my socials, my readings, workshops, everything is available at the description box in the link below. And yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Philip. Nice to see you here. And hello, Karen and Darlene and everyone watching live. Thank you for joining me. Ikar Gairam says, Ciao, Meg. Beautiful crystal. Thank you. This is actually my best friend Sunny makes these crystal jujus on the Scorpion shop. Link is in the description box below. So this is a crystal juju that she made of a danbarite crystal, which is a very high vibrational crystal. I love how it feels. Awesome. So go check out Sunny's Jujus. And actually, Sunny and I are going to do a live crystal sale here on the Meg Moonbeam YouTube and Rumble channel tomorrow evening. So come join us for, I'll put the link in the description box below for our crystal sale. Handpicked crystals from Sunny and I for really amazing prices. So, okay, let's get into this full moon in Aries. Oh my God. And I've got the red background because, of course, Aries rules the color red, fire in astrology, fieriness. So, oh my goodness, where do we even start with this full moon in Aries? So, this is not a normal full moon. Okay, you guys, this is a very, very intense and fiery full moon. Now, you guys know that I'm an astrologer, and a lot of us astrologers are always freaking out. Oh my God, this is a crazy full moon, crazy new moon, crazy eclipse season, Pluto direct. We may seem like we're dramatic and freaking out about a lot of things a lot of the time, but honestly, you guys, this Aries full moon is super, super intense. Okay. So, and I'm going to explain why that is. I'm going to give you the specifics. But when we've got intense transits that are going on, okay, we can be really feeling that more on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels. So, full moons to begin with are all about their points in the lunar cycle of endings and completion and illumination of whatever particular areas of life the sign of Aries rules, okay, which we're going to get into that. So this full moon in Aries, why it's so intense, I'll just cut to the chase and tell you guys, is a few different reasons, but the number one reason is we've got a grand cardinal cross, okay? Now this is a rare chart pattern where we've got two different heavenly bodies in oppositions and four squares going on. So we've got the sun at 24 degrees of Libra in an opposition to the full moon at 24 degrees of Aries. And then we've also got, and those are cardinal signs, right? So the cardinal signs are the signs at the beginning of the season, okay? So moon is at cardinal in Aries, sun is at cardinal in Libra, Mars is at cardinal sign of Cancer, and Pluto at cardinal sign of Capricorn. And the Mars and Pluto, they're not within a super intense orb yet. Actually, around the US election, they will be in exact opposition. So that's going to be very fun. And I'll do a whole separate video coming up, you guys, on the astrology of the US predictions and elections and my personal predictions around that. Okay. But wow, moon in opposition to the sun, as we have with every full moon, and then Mars in opposition to Pluto, and all these guys square each other. This is a grand cardinal cross, and it makes the shape of a cross. Okay. Squares and opposition aspects in astrology are adverse. Okay. So adverse doesn't mean bad and we're all going to die and it's the end of the world. Okay. Adverse means challenging. Adverse means there's something for us to be paying attention to that is not going to be easy. Okay. It's not easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. So again, just to be clear, full moons are times of cleansing, completion, and release. This full moon is in the sign of Aries, which the moon doesn't mind being in Aries. Okay. But we've got this grand cardinal cross with the sun, moon, Mars, and Pluto. Mars is the dispositor of the full moon because Mars is the ruling planet of Aries. And Mars and Pluto are two malefic planets. So they're two of the bad guys. They're two of the badass villains of the zodiac in opposition and both in square to the moon and the sun. Celestial Emma says, provides opportunity for growth, growing pains. Perfect way of putting it, Celestial Emma. This full moon in Aries is a growing pain. And actually, I'm happy that you brought up that point, Celestial Emma, because in medical astrology, and hi, Tracy, nice to see you. In medical astrology, Aries rules the head and the eyes. Okay, so with this full moon being quite a growing pain, and we're going to get into more details about what specific Aries, many of us may be having headaches. Many of us may be having eye issues. And some of you guys might already be having that because we're already in the full moon portal. Hello, Sunny. Go follow Sunny from Pluto on her YouTube channel. And Sunny, do we have a picture yet for the crystal live sale? I guess I can bring up our Instagram post, but I just mentioned how we're going to do our crystal live sale tomorrow. I'll talk about that at the end of the show as well. So, sorry, I got distracted there. Yeah, Aries in medical astrology, the head, the eyes, headaches, migraines. We can be feeling foggy in the head, having pain in the head. That can be a physical expression. So just being mindful of your head, okay, with the medical astrology, and your eyes as we're in this full moon portal. What I'm feeling really, really strong. Oh my God, Sunny says, haha, yes, there's a Pierre Polyev ad before your ad video. Okay, well, I'm happy about that video. He's not in my bad books as of the moment, so don't mind that. Okay, there's a lot to this full moon that we're going to be getting into. One of the main things that I'm personally feeling intuitively with this full moon in Aries is, where have you given your power away and how can you take it back? Okay. Aries is the first sign in astrology, and it rules self, it rules empowerment, independence, bravery, standing in your power. Aries are very, very powerful people, and Aries know what they like, they know what they don't like, they know what serves them and doesn't serve them. Usually they're very good, unless they have something counteracting it in their chart. They're very good at being able to say no and put up their boundaries, and they don't give their power away very easily. Okay, rarely will they give their power away. So I feel like with this full moon in Aries, that is in square to Pluto and in square to Mars, which that Mars-Pluto opposition can also bring power struggles, okay? There's this huge theme of, where have we given our power away and how can we take it back, okay? And I feel like wherever you have 24 degrees of Mars, of Aries in your personal astrology chart, this may be an area that you have given some power away and it's time to call it back. Also, we look at the dispositor of Aries, Mars. Wherever you have 22 degrees of Cancer, this might also be another area where you've given power away, you've given something away, and it's time to call it back. Aries is also about the masculine, divine masculine, men, powerful people, business people, leaders, and leadership. Okay. So is there someone that we consider in our lives, could literally be a man or a boss or a leader that we've given some kind of power away to, and it's time to call it back? And that can be quite easy, you guys, which is what the sign of Aries teaches us, is when something doesn't serve us, you just have to say it, as hard as it is. And we've got that pesky Mars in Cancer right now, which I personally have my Mars in Cancer in my personal astrology chart. Which is quite challenging. There's big blessings that come with all the detriment and fall positions. But Mars in Cancers has a very hard time putting up boundaries and saying no. So some of these some of these areas where we maybe need to call our energy back, it can feel really uncomfortable, actually. And let me know in the comments if any of you guys are noticing this as a theme right now. I personally have had a really big realization about something in the past couple of days of where I've personally given some power away that I need to call it back. And we can do that through prayer. We can do that through affirmations. We can do all the woo-woo stuff. Okay. But Aries is about the present moment and action. Okay. So you can do all the woo-woo stuff, which does work, doing ceremony, doing ritual, doing prayer, doing meditation to call your energy back. That stuff does work. But if you cannot, in the actual present moment, take action, that's what needs to be worked on right now. Or in the present moment, put up the boundary, or in the present moment, say no. That's actually the most important things to do right now. And none of us are perfect. Okay. But if you catch yourself not being good at the boundaries right now, not being good at saying no, yes, now power, now is the moment of power. We don't need to be hard on ourselves. None of us are perfect, and there's a lot of subconscious programming going on at the moment. Recognize it, and then take the action and take the step, Aries, to rectify it. Okay. We are going to get tested with this full moon in Aries on October. Well, the 14th has just passed, but I'm going to say the 14th, which was in the full moon portal. Today, the 15th, as I'm filming this video, the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, on being in our power. And the universe is going to reveal to us if there's areas that we've given our power away. Now, some of us, that won't be an issue. Okay. Some of us, that's not as much of an issue, which in particular is, the fire signs, in my personal opinion, are naturally the best at being in their masculine empowerment and being able to say no. Okay, so some of you guys that are Aries or Leos or Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Risings may be listening to this and going, I don't really have that big of an issue with like boundaries or saying no, right? The air signs, water signs, and earth signs, more so, that's going to be a bigger issue. But be honest with yourself, fire signs, because I feel like a lot of us might have places that we need to be honest with ourselves about. And this is authority figures. This is powerful people in our lives. This is men. This is fathers, uncles, grandfathers, boyfriends, husbands, friends that are men, just men, men, men. Okay, Aries is all about men. Be Balanced says, big issue for this Libra, Aries, Pisces. Lots going on in my life now. And thank you for sharing that, Be Balanced. So you're a really cool example because you've got that moon in Aries, right? But you're a Libra, which can have the biggest freaking challenge with boundaries sometimes. And also Pisces, which is another sign that can have a really big issue with boundaries. So everybody's got their unique mix of things. Philip, hello, says, I draw lines very easy as a Leo rising, being the rebel I am. Yeah, Leo risings. Yeah, you guys are lucky right now. Okay, this won't be as big of an issue for you. But that's a big theme for us personally, taking our power back. We're also seeing that with the collective. We're seeing with this full moon, we're getting pretty fed up with bullshitters. Okay, we're getting pretty fed up of leaders, Aries rules leaders, that are bullshitting us and that have taken our power away. We're getting pretty freaking fed up of the monarchy systems, right? That have taken our power away. And one of my collective predictions for this full moon in Aries is I think we're going to see a major world leader, and it might be more than one, lose their position of power. Okay. So we are going to see some politicians fall from their positions of power during this full moon in Aries. And Spirit is showing me a visual that it might be like dominoes. Actually, there might be several. Political viewer, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And I made kind of a different show poster for today. Let me see if I can bring this up. Just bear with me 1 second, you guys. Where do I have this? I usually don't put like other people's faces in the posters for the videos, but I felt to put President Trump, Kamala Harris, and Justin Castro in today's show poster because all of these guys are getting majorly affected by this full moon in Aries, and we're going to take a little look-see into their charts. Okay. This is very much about leadership. Aries is leadership. Aries is the military, it's generals, it's people in charge. And PJ, thank you so much for the super chat. Mwah, love you guys. Even though I've got my Mars in Cancer and I've also got Aries is the ruling sign of my 12th house. So that's the thing that's like the most hidden for me personally, funny enough, is the sign of Aries in my chart. I've got a mom that's an Aries sun and she's a total Aries and she's constantly teaching me, as are all the other Aries in my life, about leadership and directedness and being in the present moment. Aries lives in the present moment. Okay. So this is also a full moon to be paying attention to the present moment. And it's not about escapism right now. This is not a healthy time to be in escapism with Neptune retrograde at the end of Pisces. When we've got this full moon that's inviting us to be in the present moment and pay attention to where we are with our empowerment, how we're feeling physically, how we're feeling empowered. Do we feel independent? Are we, I'm hearing Spirit say self-sufficient. How can we be more self-sufficient? I've been having that as a huge theme lately. I keep hearing Spirit say, where have you given your power away? Right? And for those of you thinking or saying, well, I don't have my power given away anywhere. I've got all my stuff taken care of. Okay. Do you buy your food at a grocery store? Do you grow any food? Do you have a water spring near you? There's so many ways that in the current society, we have given our power away. And it does go back onto the ancestral level. It does have very much to do with the elite families and the Rockefellers and all the systems they put in place to enslave us, right? But it's time to take our power back. So how can you be, if you're thinking, oh, I'm already empowered, how can you be even more empowered? How can you be even more self-sufficient? How can you be even more independent? Right? Where do you need to be more direct? What area of life do you need to step into more leadership? So this is powerful stuff. And this can be some not so fun truths that can be coming to the surface about ourselves, about loved ones, and the collective with that Mars-Pluto opposition and this freaking grand cardinal cross. Oh my God. Linda, thank you so much for the super chat. Love you too. 888, love it. That's Sunny's number. Yeah, so I feel we can be feeling, even though Mars is at fallen Cancer, with a full moon in Aries, we can actually be feeling energized. We can be feeling inspired. We're being challenged collectively in our empowerment and in our leadership. But there's also great inspiration. There's also great potential. This can be a time, really good time for creativity as well. Being creative, talking about your creative ideas, taking action. Okay, full moon in Aries is all about taking action. Now, if you listen to my content, you've probably been hearing me say a lot lately that we've got 5 outer planets retrograde right now, and it's very much a time about pause and reflection, which it is, okay, but around this portal of this full moon in Aries, it's actually a good time. We need to take some sort of action wherever we have 24 degrees of Aries in our chart, the moon, or wherever we have 22 degrees of Mars, of Cancer. Sorry, I'm messing up all my words, you guys, which is where Mars is right now. Okay. It's intense to have Mars at the end of Capricorn, critical degree in opposition to Mars in this grand cardinal cross. But thank God we've got Venus, who, yes, she is at her detriment sign of Scorpio. And a lot of the planets are in their fallen detriment signs right now. So they're uncomfortable, making us also feeling uncomfortable. But thank God at the time of this full moon, we've got exact sextile, woo, positive aspect with Pluto, malefic, to Venus, benefic. If we didn't have this Venus in sextile to Pluto, this could be a very scary full moon in Aries where something really adverse could happen. Now, I do think we can see with this full moon in Aries some war escalation go on. And forgive me, you guys, because I'm not able to look at every single country chart when I prepare these forecasts, but there will be war escalation likely somewhere in the world. I want to be wrong about that. But, you know, we are already in a spiritual war. And this is an amplification and a heightening and illumination of that spiritual war that we are in. And it's showing us how to step even more into our empowerment. So this is a super powerful full moon. I like that we've also got Jupiter, the other benefic, other than Venus, sextile the moon. So there are some good aspects with the really intense grand cardinal cross. So remember, leaders are very highlighted. That's going to be a huge theme in the collective. And I'm very interested to see what is going to happen to some of the current world leaders over the next 5-6 days that we're in this full moon portal. There's going to be huge geopolitical changes. And there's 3 in particular that I want to take a little look at with you guys. Then we'll get into the 12 sign readings. So Kamala Harris, Justin Trudeau / Castro, and President Donald Trump. Okay. Now, this is just, okay, this is absolutely crazy astrology. And I don't know how Kamala Harris, okay, first of all, I don't know how she's standing. This is on YouTube and Rumble, so I said in my last video, I really don't like censoring myself and all that, but I'll just say, you know, is that Kamala Harris even a real Kamala Harris? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that she's not. I'm just saying pretty freaking weird that she's got such adverse astrological aspects right now, yet she is still appearing to us, still standing, still walking, still talking. Kamala Harris has got her sun 27 degrees Libra, her moon 27 degrees Aries, and transit Pluto is square, only 2 degrees off from being exact, her natal sun and natal moon. Sorry, I don't know why these balloons are going off, but they're going off. So she was actually born on a full moon in Aries, 17 minutes before an exact full moon in Aries. So she's having this grand cardinal cross of this full moon with the moon conjunct her moon, the sun conjunct her sun, because her birthday is in just a few days after the full moon in Aries. And Pluto and Mars square her sun and her moon. This is super, super adverse. Okay, this is with also transit Saturn in an opposition to her Pluto. Yes, she's got transit Jupiter conjunct her ascendant, but this is multiple malefic adverse transit aspects. So I'm going to make a prediction, and I've already said this in some other shows recently, but Kamala Harris is going to have a crisis situation either on the day of this full moon in Aries, which is October 17th, or the days surrounding it. This is so intense that something may come up for her where she might have to drop out of the presidential race. She could be a part of a crisis or emergency situation. There could be a fake assassination attempt made on her, okay? Because Mars rules violence and acts of aggression in square to her moon and in square to her sun. That could be something. Maybe someone's going to try to take her out. And when I say that, I'm not calling for the death of Kamala Harris. I'm just reading the astrology as some potentials. This is an emergency for her. This is red flags, red alarm bells, possible physically getting hurt, accidents, injuries. Pluto also rules, in adverse aspects can be sex scandals, very dark secrets coming to the surface. So maybe something, doesn't happen to her where she gets hurt, but there could be a huge scandal that comes to the surface. Something big is going to get revealed involving Kamala Harris with this full moon. And I'll be very, very surprised if she lasts as the Democratic nominee moving forward into November. I think there's going to be a big, shocking situation. Teresa and Not Lunatic says October surprise. Yes, could be an October surprise involving her. So out of her, Justin and Trump, who were the people that I felt drawn to bring up, and they're all leaders. Aries rules leaders, right? For her, in my personal astrological opinion, it is the most adverse. It is super, super adverse, kind of scary. And even though I don't like Kamala Harris at all, I don't wish violence on anyone. I don't wish crisis situations on anyone. So kind of scary to look at astrologically, to be honest with you guys. Also want to bring up Justin Trudeau / Castro, because we all know he's Fidel's son, but that's a whole other story. For him, this full moon is falling in his 9th house. Interesting that his 8th house ends at Aries 23 degrees. So Aries 24 degrees is right at the start of his 9th house. And what are we seeing with Justin? There is a huge, scandal actually come up, which I don't really understand this fully because the Canadian government isn't giving full details on this at the moment. But there's a huge tension now between India and Canada that just really came out in the mainstream Canadian news yesterday over diplomat murder accusations. So some of you may have seen Justin Trudeau Castro did a press conference yesterday and said that India has been hiding information about a Canadian that got killed on Canada's soil. And India is really, really not happy about it. So there's growing escalation between India and Canada, which is really weird because for those of you who aren't in Canada, we have a huge influx of Indian immigrants. And it's a country that we have a strong connection with each other because there's so many Indian immigrants in Canada at the moment. So weird that we've got all these new Indian immigrants and now the government of Canada and India, it's in a very, very conflictual place because of these diplomatic murder accusations, which again, I don't know the whole story because the Canadian government hasn't given the whole story. But why I'm bringing this up is because he's having full moon in Aries in his 9th house of foreign places, foreign people, foreign issues. So interesting that there's a major foreign issue coming up, but also what came up just a couple days before the whole India Canada tension escalation, it got revealed to Canadian news sources that Prime Minister Justin faces mounting pressure to step aside from inside his Liberal caucus. So it's getting, and I know Canadians, we've been waiting for this day for so long, but it's getting more and more stronger from inside the Liberal Party itself that they want to get rid of Justin. So, and I know I've been saying this a lot, but he is really past his due date of being a prime minister. And he's also another one where I'm like, is this even the real Justin? Like, what is this? Is this just a clone? Is this just an android? Like, what are we looking at here? Because the astrology is also so bad for him that it doesn't really make sense that he's in this power position. He's been having really, really intense aspects. So, you know, in an intense situation where he steps down or he gets taken out of his position of power, with this full moon in Aries in his ninth house, he would likely immediately leave the country and go to a foreign location if that does come up with this full moon for him. And that's something that I've been predicting for quite a long time, that I've been seeing psychically. I really, really feel that when Justin is finally no longer the Prime Minister of Canada, he's going to have to leave Canada. And I keep seeing him in Switzerland. I keep seeing that he has a new job or a new role or a new home or a new relationship, maybe with a man, because he'll probably come out as gay, having to do with Switzerland. So that's just psychically something that I've been picking up on for a while. But we'll see what happens with him with this full moon in Aries. Is he going to step down? Right? Is he going to get uh, forced to step down? It's way past his due date, way past his due date. Kathy says, I feel like they all go to Switzerland. Maybe they do all go to Switzerland. Maybe they do. For me, as a intuitive and psychic medium, I keep seeing him going to Switzerland. Maybe the real Justin, if it isn't even the real Justin we're looking at, maybe that one is in Switzerland, right? It's like, who knows? There's so much weird stuff going on at the moment. So the truth will get revealed in time. I really, really do believe that. The truth will be revealed in time. So the two biggest possible candidates that I think could lose their positions of power this full moon in Aries, Kamala Harris, Justin Trudeau. I also saw something yesterday about Iceland is having a snap election. So don't really know what's going on in Iceland. Let me know if we've got any viewers in Iceland here. But yeah, there's some big geopolitical changes that are going on for sure. Let's take a look at Trump as well. So Trump also, like Justin, has this full moon in Aries in his ninth house. So this full moon in Aries is highlighting for Trump his beliefs, foreign places, foreign people, foreign things, foreign concepts, publishing as well. So I don't know if he's publishing a book. I know his wife Melania just put out a book. Not sure if he's publishing anything at the moment, but correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but I don't think Trump is going out of the country anytime soon. He seems to be campaigning every day and doing rallies, but maybe with this full moon in Aries, he'll be highlighting, you know, the foreign war situation, or maybe there'll be something come up where he publicly talks to a foreign leader, or there's a foreign conversation or journalistic interview that's very prominent coming up for him. So he will be thinking about foreign places, even though he's focusing a lot on home and doing his campaigning and so forth. He might also have a release of some sort of belief, because the ninth house can be beliefs. So we might hear Trump on the day of this full moon or the days surrounding it express a change in a major belief or policy that he has had. So that'll be very interesting to see. And I am a little bit concerned for Trump with this full moon because he does have transit Mars, which is in this grand cardinal cross, conjunct his natal Saturn, almost exact transit Pluto, conjunct his natal Saturn. So that Mars Pluto opposition is right on his Saturn. He's got the South Node on his Neptune. Uh, could be, and also the full moon is trine his Mars, so that's good because there are some things showing up that health-wise he may be having a challenge at the moment or struggling a little bit. But I like that this full moon is actually in trine to his rising sign. It's in trine to his Mars. He's got Jupiter in Gemini on his North Node. So, Trump does have some challenging stuff going on at the moment, but I think he is lucky with some of the transits that he's got going on as well. And we're going to keep seeing this theme with Trump of very unexpected situations and things coming up because he's got that transit Uranus conjunct his midheaven. Okay, so this is unexpected. Ooh, shocks and surprises, entertainment, right? So, not sure if you guys heard, but Donald Trump is supposed to be going on the Joe Rogan podcast. Okay. So maybe that's going to come out actually the day of this full moon in Aries, or maybe they're going to do it on the full moon in Aries. And he could be like really highlighted internationally, which he already is, right? But podcasting, we can also sort of associate with the ninth house because it's to release something, it's to publish something internationally. So that'll be interesting to see what comes up for him. Can be some shocking things coming up for him again, because it is a full moon, a very heightened lunation, with him still having that transit Uranus conjunct his midheaven and also transit Uranus square his Mars. So we've got that Uranus conjunct Algol. He's going to keep having assassination attempts happen to him. And I hate to say that, okay, but we've already been seeing there's been continued assassination attempts. I do think he's divinely protected with that lucky ducky Jupiter on his North Node and on his Sun. So, yeah, keeping President Trump in our prayers at this time, if you feel to, I think is a very good idea because it is a little bit intense for him. Okay, before we get into the readings for each of these 12 signs, let's pull some cards for us all for this full moon in Aries as a collective. Okay, and I'm going to pull from my Moonology deck, my Angels and Ancestors deck, and a new deck that my friends, Jill and Steve gifted me called Ancestor Spirit. So let's see what we get here. Ooh, we've got the South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. Interesting. South Node is currently at 5 degrees of Libra or 6 degrees of Libra. So we're getting to the end of that South Node in Libra transit that we've been in. That'll be over January 12th, 2025. Don't let your past hold you back. Where have we given our power away in the past that it's time to call back? Ooh, explore your creative side. Visualize, paint, record. So that's one of the things that I said to you guys in the collective predictions as well. Very good full moon to be creative, and that can actually be an astrological remedy. Is to be creative, is to exercise, to dance, to move the energy. The worst thing you can do on a full moon in Aries is just try to sit there and not do anything. Like you'll probably have a panic attack and feel really weird. Move your body, move the energy. When's the last time you painted, you danced, you did something creative? right? That's a healthy part of life. And movement is so important. We're moving forward into the future, and there's some things from the past that might be coming up, and some of us may be getting tested on. Don't let your past hold you back, right? Sunny says, Def been getting messages about being creative lately and revamp or reinvent our creative abilities. The spider keeps showing up too, which is all about creation and endless possibilities. 888. Yes, I love that. That's awesome. I've been really feeling that too. And, you know, creativity used to be a normal part of our day-to-day life when we lived in more communal settings. We would sing every day, we would dance, we would, you know, make clothes together, we would make everything together. Ooh, we've got the spirit fox from the Angels and Ancestors deck. Trust your talents in changing times. Wow, fox is really cool. Fox knows how to outsmart situations. Fox is really, really highly intelligent. Okay. So I feel the fox saying, be discerning. There's something we need to be discerning about in our lives or in the collective. Look at the fox's eyes. They're very discerning. They notice everything. They know how to outsmart situations. They can be a little bit of a trickster. Okay. But sometimes there's nothing wrong with being a little bit of a trickster to outsmart a situation. Okay. Especially if we've got someone trying to take our power away or have a weird power struggle with us, right? That's powerful. And what talents do you know you have that you maybe been put down for, right? Is there something that you know that you're good at that you feel like people don't appreciate or don't honor, or maybe they're jealous of it? Trust your talents in these changing times. So that I just love, like, it just feels so powerful, that fox, the fox's eyes in that card. It's like looking into all of our souls. Like, you know what you came here to do. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't do that. Don't let anybody put you down and make you feel less than and take your power away. Right? That's powerful. Whoa. Those are interesting cards. Let's pull a bonus card. I'm going to pull a bonus card from the Angels and Ancestors deck. Ooh, whoa. So we've got lots of animals with us, and pay attention to the animals. Animal guardian card, trust your instincts. Wowzers. Okay. So I know I really resonate with animals. I love animals, and I feel like I have a lot of animal guides too. And our animal guides are really with us in this full moon in Aries. And that makes sense because Aries is about our instincts and survival and being grounded in the present moment, which animals are the masters of that, right? Animals are totally living in the present moment, aware of their instincts. And so pay attention to the animals that show up for you guys around this full moon in Aries, because those can be more specific messages for each of you around this time. Very, very cool. That's awesome. Sunny and I were just up north, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and we saw all kinds of animals. We saw an eagle. We saw, what else did we see? I thought there was more kind of animals that we saw. I think there was, but we saw an eagle, which is one of my power animals, and that was really cool. So paying attention to whatever animals come up. We saw fishies. Yeah. Muskrat thingies. Yeah. Did we see a beaver? I didn't see a beaver. I think Sunny saw a beaver. I didn't see a beaver, but yeah, paying attention to the animals. The animals are always speaking to us. And I feel like the animals sometimes get missed sometimes by us. Like even squirrels have a message, even the doves and the robins and all those animals that you might see on a regular basis, they all have messages for us. Earthworms, yeah, we saw earthworms too. We were doing some fishing with the earthworms. Okay, now we're going to get into our readings for each of the 12 signs, sun, moon, and rising. I invite you guys to most importantly listen to your sun and your rising signs, okay? And we're going to start with our Aries. Sun, moon, and risings, and it's a full moon in Aries. Oh my God, it's your annual full moon. How are the Aries feeling? Do we have any Aries here? I feel like the Aries, you guys were born for times like these. You guys were born for these times because you are the natural warriors. Okay, you're the natural leaders. And shit is hitting the fan. Okay, that sounds stupid for me to say, but shit has already hit the fan in the collective and is going to continue to hit the fan over the next year and a half, 2 years. With, Saturn Neptune conjunction, eclipses in Pisces, mental health crisis, physical health crisis, spiritual awakening crisis, and you guys, you just know how to micromanage, you know how to lead. And this full moon in Aries is highlighting to you in your sign. Yes, it's in a cardinal grand cross to your dispositor, okay? But your whole life has been a bit of a war. Your whole life has been a bit of a battle. So this is nothing scary for you guys. I actually feel like even though it's a full moon in your sign, it is an intense energy. It is challenging, but it's inspiring you to fully be who you know you came here to be. And there can be some big challenges coming up. There can be some people testing you, might be some power struggles, okay? But you know how to speak your truth and you know how to stand your ground. And of course, when we've got full moons in our sign annually, this can be big life changes around our identity, who we are, just overall big life changes that can be happening for you. But I feel like this full moon is solidifying for you how strong you are and where are you putting that Aries energy? Where are you directing right now? And you guys know whether that serves you or not. I don't need to tell you if that serves you or not. You guys know through your primal instincts what serves and what doesn't serve. Okay, so you will be called upon to be leaders and likely hold space. And there can be huge downloads and situations coming up for you guys showing you how powerful you actually are. And Aries, you don't need me to tell you this, okay? But you know that you're powerful and you know that you're a leader and you know that you can handle anything. So this is a sacred full moon for you to regroup, to reassess your life, to do cleansing of what no longer serves. It's a full moon, so let go of what no longer serves and start the new directed action towards what you know serves you for your highest good. And that may sound general for me to say, but I feel like it's a reassess and it's a reboot for you, but it's not going to be as crisis oriented as maybe some of the other signs because you're in Aries. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. And you know what? I'm going to pull a little card for each of the signs over here. Okay, we haven't done that lately, but we're going to do that this time. So for our Aries, sun, moon, and risings for this full moon in Aries. Ooh, you've got the full moon in Scorpio card. It's time to release negativity. Okay, so if we've got the full moon in Scorpio card, there's something for us to let go, to move forward. So take a salt bath, do an energy cleanse, do a physical cleanse, release negative energy and anything that's holding you back. I'm just getting for the Aries, it doesn't feel like that big of a deal, even though it's an intense full moon in Aries for all of us. I feel like the Aries, you guys are like chugging through it somehow. You guys may not be feeling it super in a challenging way. It's like, okay, I got to let that go. I'm letting that go. I'm taking the directed action. We're going to be in Scorpio season soon. Oh my God. So I love you, Aries, and I'm sending lots and lots of love to all of you. Okay, my fellow Taurus, Sun, Moon, Risings. For you guys, it's a little bit different, okay? Full moon in Aries in the 12th house. This is hard because this is hidden and this is subconscious and this is behind the scenes and this is illusory as to what it is that we need to be letting go of, and what the heck is it that's the core issue. With transit Pluto on the midheaven, almost exact, opposite Mars, power struggles. Many Tauruses can be going through power struggles, okay? Professionally, because that Pluto is right getting close to that midheaven, conjunct, and Mars. In Cancer, family, older family members, parents, grandparents, older siblings. There's power struggles. Okay, Taurus, and you guys, you've also got the horns, like the Aries. And I don't know why these balloons keep going off, but I'm a Taurus rising, so we do have the horns. We can be stubborn. We can put our foot down, but it takes a lot for us to put our foot down. There could definitely be conflicts with family, with work associates, with a boss, if you have a boss. But the biggest issue, Taurus, it's actually deep within yourself, your 12th house. Okay. So many Tauruses might be going, oh, there's this family member and da 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 da, and there's this person I'm working with and da 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 da. But where are these situations stemming from? It's challenging because it's the 12th house, it's hidden, it's the subconscious, it's karma. So this is a full moon to be doing spiritual work, to be doing meditation, to be doing healing practices, to be paying attention to your dreams, to be spending time behind the scenes and do some self-work and do some self-love, because there's a lot with Pluto on the midheaven right now and Mars and Cancer, and it can be easy for Tauruses to point the finger outwards, but point the finger towards yourself and ask, how am I attracting these kind of people? Or why am I attracting this kind of situation? Or why did I give my power away in that situation? Right? It's illusory because it's in your 12th house. And this might be where maybe call a friend. Did any of you guys ever watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That show where you had the option, if you didn't know the answer, call a friend, talk to a therapist, right? TD says, mom's a Taurus rising and she doesn't see that she's not assertive enough. Aries 12th house. Yeah, Taurus can be lazy. Okay. And I am a Taurus rising. So all this stuff, I'm speaking to myself as I'm saying it to you guys. Right. So Taurus, with this full moon in Aries, Pluto on the midheaven, we need to get assertive, but it's hard because it's in our 12th house. So it's like we need to dig We need to dig into our subconscious. What is it I'm not seeing? What is it I'm not seeing? Spirit, what am I not seeing? Please show me the truth. Please show me the clarity. Right? So Tauruses can be feeling a little bit more dreamy, can be feeling really like empathic around this full moon. If you're noticing all this drama on the outside, look within and take responsibility. That's the biggest thing I can say for Tauruses. Okay? But very spiritual dreams, very spiritual insights, but it is a time of healing. And like I've been saying to everyone, taking your power back. Emma says this is on point for risings, I think. For suns or for risings, or even for some of the moons. So let's see, what's our card message for the Tauruses for this full moon in Aries? Emotions are running high. Supermoon. Yes, the 12th house is a very emotional house. There can be, I'm hearing, huge healing breakthroughs with ancestral patterns, with work issues, but it's important to take responsibility. Why are we attracting certain situations? What is this trying to teach me? What is this teaching me? Why is this coming up? Right? But yeah, emotions can definitely be high, and that can be different for Tauruses because usually we can be very grounded, or we don't lose our cool very easily. So if you are feeling more emotional, you're not going crazy. It's a full moon in Aries. Okay. And it is a super moon. Yes, that's right. That's right, Linda. Okay, Tauruses, I love you guys. And now we're going to move to the Geminis. Gemini, sun, moon, and risings. We've got this full moon in Aries in your 11th house. And oh, I forgot to mention earlier that this full moon is conjunct Chiron. So it's very healing and it's very sensitive for all of us. And it's bringing up our wounded healer archetype and our personal Chiron issues. So Gemini, full moon in Aries in the 11th house, there could be an ending, completion to a friendship or a group association where you've given your power away to that situation, or illuminating to you that you can actually step into a leadership role in your like-minded community or in your friendships if there's a friend that's struggling. We've got Mars in your 2nd house and Pluto in your 8th house in an opposition in a part of this Grand Cardinal Cross in this full moon. So, we're at the end of Pluto and Capricorn in your 8th house. When Pluto moves into Aquarius, he's going to be in your 9th house. This is big shedding that is taking place for you. And I want you guys to pay attention to the people that you choose to surround yourself, your friends, your group associations, your community, teams that you're on, and what's the dynamics? Do you feel empowered in those situations, or do you not feel empowered in those situations? And for all the signs, wherever we have this full moon in Aries, we might be seeing a conflict. Okay, so just going to put that out there. This can be quite conflictual, but it's empowering you in your friendships, in your community engagements, and in your long-term wishes, goals, and dreams. So with this full moon in Aries in your 11th house, you may have clarity in the present moment, directed clarity around how you want to move forward with goals and dreams and how to take the actions, what actions to take. So pay attention to the downloads that you may be getting and what your friends are reflecting back to you. Okay, let's see. What's our card for our Gemini, sun, moon, and risings? New moon in Gemini. For the Geminis, communication is key. And the 11th house is a communication house. It's more associated with group communication, online communication, being aware of what is being communicated and how you communicate. How do others communicate to you? Is it empowering? Is it disempowering? Is there a new way that you can communicate out to the world through social media, through the internet, online that's empowering for you that you have an idea about? Okay. I keep hearing spirits say, pay attention to the downloads, Geminis. Okay, love you guys very much and happy full moon. Now we're at the Cancers, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Well, Cancers, you're ruled by the moon in astrology. And this full moon in Aries, as I've been talking about, has a grand cardinal cross. So you can be feeling that Aries energy very strong. You could be feeling really energized. You can be feeling like you're buzzing, but at the same time, you can be feeling more easily irritated, more easily angry or frustrated, or there might be major conflicts going on. Let us know in the comments, do any of the Cancers out there have any like major conflicts going on? Because likely a lot of you guys are having conflicts. Mars is in Cancer, the dispositor of the full moon in Aries, grand cardinal cross. So this is a big energy that you guys are processing. And in particular for you guys as well, this full moon is in your 10th house, which is work, career, our elders, our long-term goals. So there can be a completion or ending to something related to your work or career or professional goals. I can see many Cancers maybe being pissed off around the fact that maybe you're wanting to start your own business or step into more of a leadership role, and you maybe didn't seriously consider that or realize your full potential before this full moon. That can be coming up for a lot of you guys. There might be some conflict happening in work or some conflict with some older people in your life. But similar to what I said to the Tauruses, we can, and this feels like it's a message maybe for all of us too. Instead of pointing the finger outwards, point the finger inwards and ask if there are conflicts, if there are miscommunications, if there are people annoying you or irritating you, why am I attracting this and what is this teaching me? Right? So are you doing something professionally that serves you, that makes you feel empowered? If not, important for yourself to be honest about that at this time. Okay. Yeah. Intense for the Cancers. Let me know how you guys are feeling. David says, my son, who is a Cancer rising, has to see a specialist for medical reasons on the 16th. Oh, well, I'm sending lots of love your way, David, to your son. TD says, my sis is a Cancer rising and she's angry at every woman in her family. Yeah, there can also be, that makes sense, TD. Cancers can be having a lot of repressed stuff coming up at the moment, particularly around the family, right? So, yeah, Cancers, take it easy out there. It can feel intense for you guys. Let's see what your card is, Cancers. Ooh, luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so even though it is freaking intense, because as I said, you're ruled by the moon, Mars is in Cancer, all this stuff going on, luck is on your side. Okay. Oh, Sunny says, gotta go. See you soon, Meg. Yeah, Sunny's going to come over to my house. P.S. Meg and I have a surprise for all you tomorrow. Yay. Yes, we're going to go live for a live crystal sale. Bye, Sunny. Thank you for joining us. So, okay, Cancers, there's actually some luck on your side, even though there can be some challenging, irritating situations coming up. They're up-leveling you to go to even greater heights of positivity, of luck, of expansion. And interesting that we're going to have a new moon in Sagittarius on November 30th of this year. So maybe whatever is going on right now for you is connected to things that you can create, call in at the new moon in Sagittarius on November 30th. This is a positive card, Cancers. Maybe there's going to be all sorts of emotions, something very positive yet challenging come up at the same time. Interesting. Philip says, this speaks to me, Cancer Sun and Saggy Moon. Ha 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 ha. Awesome. I'm happy that it resonates. Okay. Yes, Sunny, you should wait because we've got the Leo risings next. Okay. Leo, Sun, Moon, and risings. You're having this full moon in Aries in your 9th house. Interesting. We just pulled the luck is on your side card for the Cancies, new moon in Sagittarius. This is, not going to be as intense for you as it is for some of the other signs. Okay. There can be a release or a completion of a belief system that you've had. The 9th house can be our beliefs that can be coming to a completion point, right? You may have a realization on the day of the full moon or the days surrounding it of some kind of belief. Could be a spiritual belief, could be a belief that a man implanted into you, a father or a man in your life, that you have the realization, you know what, I'm actually not like that, or you know what, that was actually bullshit, or that doesn't resonate with me at all. And there can be a letting go of things that we've been holding. And this could be on something on the subconscious level that you haven't even been conscious of that you could be holding about yourself, with Mars, the dispositor of the full moon, in your 12th house of the subconscious. Okay. So with this full moon in Aries, Leos, pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to your self-talk. And I invite you guys to ask yourself, like, where did that even come from? Does that come from me? Is that something that somebody told me that was trying to take my power away? Is that something that I took from a TV show I watched when I was 5? Silly example. Very much around your beliefs. Some of you might be doing some foreign travel, or some of you may be planning a trip that you're going to do to a foreign location in the near future with that full moon in your 9th house. You may be having conflict with someone who's foreign or from a foreign country, or just inner conflicts with your own beliefs. Okay. But I don't think that this full moon is as intense for you as it is for some of the other signs. And, I was talking about earlier in this video, it's very much about boundaries and being able to say no, and in your empowerment. And Leos tend to have, their shit together when it comes to that arena. So not saying that you guys are perfect. Okay. Not saying that because that's what people want to hear, but just saying that's the astrology. So let's see, Leos, what is your moonology card for this full moon in Aries? We've got this card again. Emotions are running high. Super moon. Yeah, you might be feeling extra emotional. It is a fire sign moon. You do have the dispositor Mars in your 12th house. And if you are feeling more emotional than usual, that could be a big release coming up of something that you've maybe been holding on the inside. So if you cry out of nowhere, if you get angry out of nowhere, you have a big emotion out of nowhere, tune into your body and ask yourself, where is this coming from? What is this? Is this mine? Is this somebody else's? So there's an extra message of that your emotions may be running high, and it is a super moon, like Linda said. So paying attention to your emotional body can also be beneficial at this time. Okay, Leos, love you very much and happy full moon. Now we move to our Virgo, sun, moon, and risings. Oh, Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. So for you guys, this is going to be a little bit more intense. Okay, and I got to laugh because I am a Scorpio, and I am going to talk about the 8th house of Scorpio. And it's the two rulers of Scorpio, Mars and Pluto, in an opposition in this grand cardinal cross. JLZ14 says, Leo rising, Virgo sun, very stressed. Okay, well, no wonder you're stressed because you're going to be having this full moon in your solar as a Virgo sun, 8th house. So, Virgos, I'm not wishing this upon you guys, but just saying some of you guys may be feeling like you're at the end of your rope. Some of you guys may be feeling like you could be mentally having a breakdown, or you're at some sort of major ending. Okay, this is a full moon in your 8th house of Scorpio. Endings, death, release. What is it that you need to release? This is a full moon in Aries. So maybe you want to go back and listen to the beginning of this report, if you didn't already listen to that, about the things that Aries rule in life. Men, empowerment, in the adverse side, abuse, violence. There could be very intense traumas with this full moon in your 8th house coming up to the surface for you, Virgos, that are coming to light that can be really just intense is the word. Okay. So this is a full moon where I highly advise doing healing work, maybe even doing therapeutic work. Some of you guys may be having intense memories from the long, deep past about areas where your power was taken away, or issues with men, or issues with abuse. Ellen says, absolute, had just had a breakdown. Okay. So Virgos, I'm a Scorpio sun. Okay. I'm a Scorpio gal. And I have had my fair share of breakdowns. And, breakdowns, Virgos, are actually a good thing. Okay. Because if you're having a breakdown, that means you're having a breakthrough. Okay. I sound like an inspirational coach right now, but just going to say, if you remember, Spirit is saying to you guys, if you're having a breakdown, if you're fucking losing it, excuse my language, and you're stressed, Virgo rules stress and anxiety and nervousness and being anal, and you're mentally all over the place and you're really, really feeling it, you are having a breakthrough. Okay. So in the breakdown, embrace the breakdown that is taking place. And I'm not trying to call in that Virgos completely lose their shit and have a mental breakdown. Okay. Maybe you feel it mentally. Maybe you feel it physically. Maybe it's in your personal relationship. Something is breaking down, and embrace it. Let the death occur. 8th house is death. Let the total death occur so that you can have the breakthrough. Okay. Sassy says, I'm a Virgo too, and I had a total breakdown last 2 days. Good. That's actually a good thing. This is why Scorpio and the 8th house gets demonized, because, oh, don't do that. Don't have a breakdown. Don't lose your shit. You got to work. You got to do this. You got to do that. No, sometimes you got to have the breakdown to have the breakthrough. Okay. So Virgo, you're one of the natural healers of the zodiac. And I don't mean to pressure you guys, but the next 2 years is a really big deal for all of us. And you're going to be helping a lot of people. Many of you are going to be in service roles. Okay. And you're going to have to take care of your stuff before you're going to be able to serve others. Okay. So whatever major issues are coming up, and likely for many Virgos, sun risings and moons, there can be big issues coming up, traumas from the past, wounds, death, rebirth process, major transformation, major shadow work, endings. Embrace the breakdown to have the breakthrough. Okay. Your fears can be coming up. 8th house is fears. This is not so fun for the Virgos, but it's actually going to be the most rewarding for the Virgos on the other side. Okay. So I hope I'm making sense how I'm saying this. And I don't mean to scare you guys, Virgos. I'm just being honest. Full moon in Aries in the 8th house with the 2 rulers of Scorpio in the 8th house, a part of that grand cardinal cross. Let yourself have the breakdown to have the breakthrough. I know I keep repeating that, but that's just what I keep hearing spirits say. And this is not a full moon to, Meg is crazy. She's so negative. I'm going to go do all the plans that I had, and I'm not going to, I don't need to heal myself. I don't need to do anything. Have fun with that. Have fun with, then you're really going to have a breakdown. Let yourself cry. Let yourself heal. Linda says self-care is so very important. Let yourself address the issues that are coming up. There could be deep anger. There could be deep resentment that's coming up. Let it out. Process the shadow work that's coming up for you at this time. We've got, ooh, bring love into the situation. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Try something different. Try maybe a different healing modality. Try a different way of doing self-love that you maybe haven't done before. It'll help you move through the energy to do something different. Bring a little love to your heart. Is that how that song goes? Self-love is not just love and light and rainbows and fairy cakes. It's also acknowledging the shadow side is also active self-love. Okay. So Ellen says, just feeling it is going through it 100%. And Philip says, cry, laugh, and love your inner child. Breakthrough for you. Totally. Love yourself, love your inner child, love all the aspects that are coming up for you at this time, even though it may be uncomfortable. And I love you, Virgo, so much. I know it's intense, but I'm being honest with you guys. Okay. And have a happy full moon. Embrace it. And you guys will be actually really rewarded on the other side. Okay, Libra, sun, moon, and risings. We've got this full moon for you guys in your 7th house of Libra. This is your astrological house. So this is really highlighting your love life, your committed relationships, your love partners, work partners, client partners. Look at those areas of your life and ask yourself, have I given my power away in any of those areas? Or how can I be more self-sufficient? How can I be more independent? Can be conflict with a love partner, with a work partner, with a client. Okay, but you're being invited to re-identify your relationships with others and be even more empowered in your outward relationships. There can be great healing with Chiron conjunct this full moon if you are assertive, if you are direct, right, Aries, with the people in your life. There can be great healing that comes up for you, Libras. Okay. So I know that that can be a challenge for some Libras, sometimes being direct, putting the boundary up, saying no, but important during these times because many, Libra people are attracted to you like moths to a flame. Okay. Let's be honest. And many Libras have, situations where sometimes people can take advantage of their good nature. So I'm not saying that's happening to all Libras, just generalizing here, but looking at your relationships and who you have around you and how they make you feel. Okay. Honest for you to be, important for you to be honest about that. We've got, for the 3rd time, emotions are running high for the Libras and for all of us. So this is a message for all of us. And since we pulled this for a 3rd freaking time, let's read the book. Okay. Emotions are running high. It's the supermoon card. And where is the supermoon card? Here it is. And by the way, again, this deck, I love this fabulous deck, is the Moonology Oracle cards. Love these ones. Emotions are running high. So this is for Libras, but also all of us because we've just gotten this 3 times. This card suggests that the answer to whatever you're asking is writ large, like the silvery full moon set against the velvety night sky. If you're wondering how successful something is going to be, such as a job or a relationship, the answer is very. To use common parlance, the answer to your question may well be that it's under your nose. This card is about being larger than life, being special and bursting with energy that you can tune into and work with. You can expect plenty of good things and a positive outcome when this card comes up, but you may find there's a lot of emotion to deal with too. There's also a sense that the opportunities around whatever you're asking about don't come along every day, so take action. Success is close. I just must trust. Make sure you don't blow events out of proportion. Something exciting lies ahead. Don't ignore the obvious. A revolution to your question is closer than you think. Interesting. So that's for all of us that our emotions may be running high, but there's also something, our emotions can also be we're excitable about something positive that's going to be happening. Ooh, so that's a good card for all of us. Awesome. And that goes for you Libras as well. So hope your message resonated, and I'm sending lots of love your way. Okay, now we move to my fellow Scorpios. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we're almost in Scorpio season, Scorpios, and it's going to be the craziest Scorpio season of our lives. So buckle up. But right now we're talking about this full moon in Aries, which we are having in our 6th house. So it's highlighting our health. It's highlighting our day-to-day routines, our day-to-day work, our pets, our physical body and immunity. So with the full moon in Aries, with this Grand Cardinal Cross, we can be releasing, you know, health routines, health patterns that don't serve us anymore. This is a fantastic full moon to be starting a new health protocol, to be doing a physical cleanse. There may be some conflict coming up around your relationship to your body, your health. Look to the deeper spiritual messages around any potential health issues that might be coming up at this time and what their deeper meanings are. Okay. Really good to be implementing a new exercise routine, movement routine, as those things are all ruled by Aries. And I've been really feeling lately how for the Scorpios, doing cleansing protocols, doing regular cleansing, which is ruled by Scorpio and ruled by the 6th house, is really good for the Scorpios because we are always cleansing, we are always being those shadow workers, and that can be a really good astrological remedy for us during these very intense astrology times and transits. We've got our 2 planetary rulers, Mars and Pluto, in an opposition and in Grand Cardinal Cross at this full moon. So we can be feeling intense. We can be really easily triggered by things, but let's channel that into taking care of our health, into creating a positive new routine and being physically active to move the energy. Okay. So I like this one for the Scorpios. May sound a bit boring, like it's about your health and your routines, but if you don't have solid health and routines, then you're not going to be able to do anything in life. Okay, Scorpio, so something very very important for you to pay attention to and be honest about. And let's pull a card for our Scorpios. Ooh, we've got a time for healing. Balsamic moon, healing of the physical body, healing of routines, healing of deep-seated anger and resentment, and letting that out through physical movement activities. So, wow, it's a great time for healing this full moon for the Scorpios. Very, very cool. Emma says, oh, but it's on point again. Well, I'm happy that it's resonating with you guys. And I love to see your comments when something really does resonate. That absolutely makes my day. Okay, we've got 4 more signs. Let's move to our Saggy Waggies. Sagittarius, you're having this full moon in Aries in your 5th house. So this is lighter for you than for a lot of the other signs. And can be a little bit dramatic. Okay, there can be some dramatic conflicts possibly coming into the fold maybe with some friends, with the sun transiting over your 11th house. But you're feeling highly, highly creative, and there's a lot of creative and empowered potential for you at this full moon. The fifth house of Leo rules the inner child. We've got Chiron conjunct this full moon in Aries. So, Saggies, this is a really good full moon for you to be doing inner child healing work. Fifth house is the inner child. The sign of Aries we can also associate with the inner child. So, there may be things coming up from your past regarding inner child wounds, okay, that, might not be nice to feel out when they're coming up, but it's good to be paying attention to your inner child to release any pain that your inner child might be storing. That's some proactive energy work that you can be doing at this time with this full moon, and let yourself be creative. There's huge creative potential for you with this full moon in Aries in your fifth house. And the card we've got for you is you're very close to achieving your goal. I love that card with the moon in the forest. Gibbous moon. That is really, really cool. And the fifth house is about showcasing our gifts and our talents and being in our confidence. So as you do some inner child healing, as you tune into your creativity, you can be more inspired to achieve your goals. And there might be even new, fresh goals that you come up with to move ahead into the future with that you're inspired by this full moon in Aries. That's an awesome card for our Saggies. Have a very happy full moon, you guys. Okay, Capricorn, sun, moon, and risings. You've got this full moon in Aries in your fourth house. And, the moon is at home in the fourth house. The moon rules Cancer, the fourth house, home, family, privacy, our private side. So this can be a completion or release and illumination of your private life, of your emotional well being, your home, your ancestors, living situation, family. Might even be a little bit of a conflict, Capricorn, possibly with some family members, or a power struggle going on with some family members. Okay. But, you're being asked to re-identify, where do you want to live, and what is the relationship to your family and your ancestors. What have you taken on from your ancestors that maybe isn't yours to hold, right? Remember, what if you've been watching since the beginning of this video, you might want to rewind, because I did a whole explanation on this full moon. But where have we given our power away, and how can we take it back? There could be, things in your ancestral line that you realize are connected to areas that you've given your power away. This is a really good full moon for you to connect to your ancestors, do ancestral healing, to empower yourself and also your ancestral line. You may be feeling more emotional and private than usual, Capricorns, with this full moon in your fourth house. So you're not crazy. Take it easy and do some extra self-care. Okay, let's see what the card is for the Capricorns. Full moon eclipse. Wow. Conclusions are within reach. Interesting. So if there's something that you've been waiting, Capricorns, to complete or finally finish, this card is saying conclusions are within reach and there is a major ending taking place. This full moon in Aries is a major conclusion within reach, having to do with home, having to do with family, your ancestral line, your own emotions and well-being. So that's very powerful stuff for you. Sending lots of love your way. TD says resonates as a Capricorn rising, everything times 10 even. Well, I'm so happy that it's resonating with you. Thank you so much. Now we move to our Aquarians. You guys are having this full moon in Aquarius in your third house. And we've got Mars in the 6th. We've got Pluto in the 12th, conjunct your rising. Oh my goodness. So this is a huge transformation period for you Aquarians, with Pluto soon to be entering your sign for the next 20 years. And this full moon in Aries is all about empowerment in your third house of local community, your local environment, neighbors, friends, siblings, communication. Do you feel comfortable with your local community? Do you have a connection to your local community? If not, this is a good full moon to get connected to your neighbors, to the people within your local environment. Some of you may feel inspired to step into some sort of leadership or responsibility role in your local community. Go to a local sports class, a local movement class. A full moon dance or release in your local community can be really, really good for you guys. There can be an ending or completion to, an issue of power being given away, unhealthy dynamics between a friend or a sibling or even a cousin. So be honest about your relationships at this time, Aquarius, and how the people around you are making you feel. But this full moon is definitely a preparation of empowerment for you and major cleansing before Pluto enters your sign. Very powerful stuff. And let's see what card we've got for you guys. We've got this one again, same one as the Saggies. You're very close to achieving your goal. We're very close to Pluto being in Aquarius and you guys no longer being the weirdos, and we're ready for everything that you have to offer, what you've been waiting your whole lives to achieve and to be. The world is ready for that now. We're entering the age of Aquarius. So if there's any fears that you have around being yourself, test yourself in your local community. Get out and speak your truth and be yourself, and let the testing ground be your local community and your friends and your siblings. So this is so cool. There's something you're getting close to achieving that's very, very positive. Love you guys so much. And now we're going to move to lastly our Pisces sun, moon, and risings. You guys are having this full moon in Aries in your second house. Thank you so much for the super chat, Heather. Aw. You say, thanks, Meg. You look so beautiful, but you always do. And I love your makeup. Thank you. Maybe because I just got my hair done the other day. Thank you so much, Heather. I love you. Love all you guys. So, yeah, Pisces, this is a completion, an ending, an illumination of your values. Okay. Second house is values and income and day-to-day work. Okay. And with this full moon in Aries, do you even have values? Do you know what your values are? That's something very basic, but it is very, very important. If we don't have strong values in life, then we kind of have no legs that we're standing on, and we're kind of running around like a chicken with our heads cut off for, silly example. So this is, make empowering values if you don't already have them. And there could be new empowering income streams or day-to-day work opportunities or new pleasures and enjoyments of life coming forward to you. Second house of Taurus is also our pleasures and enjoyments of life. What do you enjoy doing? And are those things that actually nourish you at the moment? Do they deplete you? Are there new things that you can start doing as for fun or for pleasure? Right? We've got that Mars in opposition to Pluto in your 5th and 11th house and in square to the moon. So there's more pleasure, there's more fun, there's more creativity to bring in by just being yourself and not being afraid to be yourself, right? Be Balanced says strong values, but adverse reactions to them. So thank you very much for your comments, Be Balanced. And if you know that your values resonate with you and are strong for you, doesn't matter what other people think, as challenging as that may be, as much as they may be loved ones, let them have their adverse reactions, because we got to honor ourselves first. So I love you, Pisces, and I hope that resonates with you guys. And we're at the end of today's full moon in Aries report for the full moon on October 17th, 2024. We talked about the astrology forecast for the collective and all 12 signs. I hope you guys resonated with what I've shared today, and it's going to be an intense one. Okay, keep me posted in the comments, but we're going to get through it, and it's another full moon that is up-leveling us. So I love you guys so, so much. Thank you all for your support. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my Meg Moonbeam YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. You can check out all my links and socials at the description box below. And I will see you all very soon for another video. Love you guys. Happy full moon.